Welcome to the Kentucky Game Plan with your hosts, Adrian and Mac.
Welcome, everyone, to the Kentucky Game Plan. I'm Adrian Smith.
And I am Mac Black.
Mac Black. Welcome to the show, Mac.
Yes, sir. Welcome. Let me welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you.
You're
Much
welcome.
appreciated.
You're welcome.
Great to be here.
Derby week.
Derby week.
It's beautiful outside. Birds are singing. The flowers are looking good. Bees are swarming.
I told you.
Yeah.
Spring is here.
You were right, weatherman.
Finally. Hey, I got to get it right. 1 out of 30 chances. I got to get it right.
It's always that 30th that justifies everything.
Very true.
Awesome.
Very true.
I had a pretty good week.
Did you?
Got to get out and do a couple autographs. Well, actually, one autograph signing to your couple autograph signings.
Yeah. I went and saw Kevin Knox
Nice.
Shy Alexander. Who'd you go see?
Mr. Diallo.
Ah.
Yeah, it was a good time. Homie walked up,
Yeah.
hit hands to everybody in the crowd. We're all standing in line waiting to get in. He walks up, talks to everybody, shook everybody's hand. Really nice kid.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing with Knox and
Yeah.
Alexander. Alexander did the high fives down the
Nice.
aisle.
He's tall in person. A lot taller than Homie.
Yeah.
Homie's tall, but Knox, the picture I seen where the social media page of
He's
the
a
agency.
beast.
Wow, I didn't know he was that tall.
Yeah. I guarantee he's every bit of 6'8".
Yeah, because he looks
Minimum.
shorter on TV. Trust me.
Minimum 6'8". His hands are ginormous.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
definitely going to make some waves in the NBA. I think all three will.
yeah,
Definitely.
I believe so. Like we talked about before, I really believe Alexander and Knox are first round,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
hands down draft picks. Not saying anything like Diallo couldn't be a first round draft pick, but I think the other two guys are going to be stars in the league. I think they're going to contribute right away
Oh, yeah.
to any team they go to.
So the rumor is with Alexander.
Alexander Orlando
Yeah.
is really looking at him. They need a star point guard, somebody for the future.
Been a while since they've had one.
Looking at Sexton down at Alabama also, but I believe if you're going to go with the point guard, you go with a point guard that's been through the point guard factory, as
Exactly.
everybody wants to call Cal. All the guys that he put in the league, with Rose and Wall and Bledsoe and on down the list, Ulis. I mean, everybody.
All been successful.
Darren Fox. Yeah, all been successful. All been in the running, for rookies of the year. Just a couple of those guys, first picks
Right.
of the draft. So, I believe, he could contribute right away and be a star in the league, and Orlando is a great fit.
I agree. I wish all of them the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. As far as Diallo, I can see him kind of being a Drew Holiday, I want to
Like
say.
backup role player.
A role player guy, the more he plays, the better he'll get.
Right.
I don't really see him being a star, I want to say, star player, but I think he can be a solidified contributor off the bench
Right.
for the next 10, 12 years.
But then again, he might surprise you.
Donovan Mitchell surprised us.
Exactly.
So,
We'll get to him later.
yeah, we will. But yeah, it was all great meeting him. I'll obviously wish him the best.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, NFL draft.
NFL draft.
Wow.
Yes, it was a long event.
Very long. Out of all the teams, who do you think got the steal? Like the best players?
Just overall, I want to say Atlanta Falcons
Okay.
and probably the Baltimore Ravens.
And we know why with the Ravens.
Yeah, the future of that team, future of that franchise.
So are you seeing him learning a lot from Flacco?
I do. Flacco has been in the league 7 years now.
Yeah.
He's won a Super Bowl. He's a 500 record quarterback. He's seen the bad. He's seen the great. Obviously, with the Super Bowl win, he's a guy that's a very, very hard worker. He came from a school that was not a big name school.
Right.
He's not an SEC type school or ACC.
ACC.
So That being said, he had to kind of work more to get recognized and work more to get the starting job. And obviously it paid off for him. Super Bowl ring. I think Lamar Jackson has the talent and ability to be a franchise quarterback. We've all seen his athleticism on the field. If you've met him, he's a very humble guy. He never takes anything for granted. He trusts in himself, which is a great thing to do.
That's number one.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in you, nobody else will.
Exactly. I see him being, everybody wants to compare him to like Michael Vick. I want to compare him to Randall Cunningham.
Okay.
And the reason why is because nobody really talks about his accuracy and his deep ball throwing ability. Everybody talks about his mechanics aren't that great. His footwork's not that great as far as quarterback. But that's for more pocket quarterback type quarterbacks. He's not really a pocket type quarterback. With that being said, he's still a quarterback. And that's why he got drafted to be the quarterback.
And we're not going to see him as a receiver.
Not going to see him as a receiver. Not going to see him as a running back.
Right, that's not his position.
Not going to see him as a punt returner. We're not going to see any of that. But that being said, I want to say he's more Randall Cunningham.
Right.
He can throw the deep ball. He can throw on the run. And when he needs to run, that's when everybody wants to compare him to Michael Vick.
Right.
But I see him winning a Super Bowl if the Ravens do their job as far as setting him up and drafting, weapons to give him. Let's be honest. Baltimore loves quarterbacks out of Louisville. Let's go down the list here. 1955, the Baltimore Colts draft John Unitas. And then in the year 2000, they drafted Chris Redman. So that being said...
And Redman was the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So both of these guys, Johnny U and Chris Redman, won a Super Bowl with Baltimore.
Lamar can follow suit.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
It's worked out for the other two guys. Why not work out for him? So I would like to see Lamar sit, though, the first year. I know everybody wants to see him. They want to see the electrifying guy. Let him sit. Let him learn.
That's the best way to do it. So just jumping. You can tell he's ready to go. He's
yeah.
ready to
Well,
work.
you're ready. You're amped. You're a Heisman winner, a Heisman candidate 2 years in a row. Yeah. I can see him being amped.
But yes, learning is a big thing, too. Because this is the next step.
This is the biggest step.
Right.
You're now an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
So
you forget about the college game.
The college game's over.
Yes, it's a totally new game here.
But that being said, another guy that got drafted in the first round from UofL, Jair Alexander, defensive back, Packers making the pick. I believe this guy will start right away.
Oh, yeah. This
guy is a true defensive back.
And they can use him, too.
And they can use him in that conference. You look at that conference with the Lions, with Matt Stafford, and the Bears with Trubisky, and Vikings now signing Cousins. You got to take options away from these quarterbacks.
Right.
Alexander can do that. I think he can start right away. Like I said, he'll probably play a little nickel. He'll probably play the number 2 defensive back. I say in 2-3 years, this guy's going to be in the conversations of like Patrick Peterson, Champ Bailey, those type guys, as far as being a quote unquote shutdown corner. But that being said, the Packers, the last time they got a really good defensive back is when they had Charles Woodson.
Right.
I know Woodson did play a lot of safety towards the end of his career, but that being said, they won a Super Bowl.
It was great watching him play, too.
So,
Once they're on the field.
These two guys, they couldn't have landed in a perfect more spot for either one of them.
I was actually surprised to see Lamar go to Baltimore. It was because the whole thing was the Steelers, late 15th pick.
Is he the next guy behind Roethlisberger?
Steelers, and guy I work with was talking about he would rather see him go somewhere else than the Steelers,
right?
Because he felt like that Lamar wouldn't get, I guess, trained properly or developed
right
in the way he should be developed.
Yeah.
But he's a Steelers fan himself, but he felt like it was a good move for Baltimore to get him instead of the Steelers because he would rather see Lamar develop correctly.
Well, there was a lot of other talks right the week going into the draft that with the Patriots making all the moves they did and getting 2 first-round draft picks, were they going to use those 2 first-round draft picks to move up in the top 5 or 6, maybe trade with Cleveland at that 4th spot to draft Lamar Jackson? That was a lot of talk, with that being said.
Oh, yeah. It was.
And I'm happy for the kid that didn't have to follow in the footsteps of Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I know you're Lamar Jackson.
Huge.
That being said, your future is bright. But good Lord, to fill those shoes.
Exactly.
God, no, I don't want those.
But speaking of Cleveland, how you feel about their pick?
Cleveland, wow. And if you remember back, one of our first shows we talked about, all these guys that were Heisman candidates with Barkley and Lamar Jackson and Barrett, Mayfield. And Mayfield won the Heisman. I say he's going to be the last quarterback off the board.
Okay.
Boy, was I wrong. He was the first quarterback off the board. I just don't see it. And, nothing being said with his off-the-field issues and how
it's not a good fit for Cleveland?
I don't see it being a good fit. Multiple reasons why. His mechanics are not that great. His footwork's not that great. And to be a number 1 pick, like the number 1 pick, the franchise guy for your franchise for the next 10 years, this is your guy. This is the guy you're going to spend a lot of money on. He better be good. Like right off the gate. Like this guy better be ready to start. And they don't plan on starting him, which I get that.
Let him
sit, let him learn. But that being said, man, like all the grades, if you go through like ESPN and Fox Sports and all that stuff, CBS Sports, they gave that grade, the number 1 pick, Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns, a C.
Wow.
A C. Like, this is the first pick. This is what you're betting your franchise on, is a C. And you had the pick to pick anybody you wanted.
I mean,
you had the pick. You had to draft anybody. Number 1.
And they picked
a C.
A C.
And with the second pick, the defensive back at Ohio State, with the 4th pick, I thought it was a little bit of a reach. I think they could have traded out of that 4th spot. Probably could have got him at pick 15. But they drafted a guy that I know they were in love with. I get it. When you figure that's your guy, that's your guy.
Right. Well, they must see something there, and we don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not a GM. I'm not a head coach.
Surprise us too and come out and just.
I'm not saying that the 4th pick wasn't a good pick. I think it was a little bit of a stretch, and I think a lot of these picks in this draft, in that 2nd, 3rd round, were stretches because you saw a lot of like defensive backs come off the board. So I think a lot of teams jumped on that bandwagon, like, okay, we got to draft a defensive back, and then a couple offensive linemen went 2 or 3 in a row. So then the next team went and drafted the next available offensive lineman. So I think a lot of these teams stretched just because the whole thing was there of like the streak. Okay, everybody's doing it. Let's get our offensive lineman or our defensive back, whatever. But Cleveland, good luck.
Right.
You made a lot of good moves in the off season.
Yeah.
But the draft, I don't know. I don't think
it
was a great draft.
You never know. It could be the year.
It could be the year.
I ain't gonna say they won a Super Bowl, but it could all come together and hit some stride and see some light.
In year 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Let's hope it works out for him.
Yay.
Right.
Oh, the fifth round pick I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Shaquem.
Yeah.
Am I saying his name right? Shaquem
Griffin. Yeah.
His twin brother plays for the Seahawks.
Right.
Shaquille. And he was picked 5th round.
Yep. And that's your team, Seahawks.
Right. And he gets to play with his brother. And I think another cool thing about the situation, the guy has one hand.
Yes. One hand.
So
you're right.
Don't anybody that's handicapped, or if you feel like you can't do nothing or something you're trying to do, don't let anybody tell you can't do it, because this guy here has one hand. And he's defying all odds. So look what he's doing.
Exactly. Starter.
NFL.
Yeah, I mean, he's a starter. He played awesome in college. And
he's going to be an outside linebacker with the Seahawks.
Yeah, with his brother on that defense. Hey, like you said, don't let anything get in your way.
Right, Shaquem and Shaquille.
Yeah, there you go. Brothers, there's a couple brother combinations in the league, but I don't think any of them's ever played at the same time on the same team.
Right.
So that's pretty cool, man.
So when it comes to handicapping sports, no excuses.
None.
Because you can still do it.
Yeah, I want to say there's
show them you can.
Also, USC College, the long snapper for the football team.
Yeah.
He's blind.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that guy is 100% blind, and he is the long snapper. So, yeah. Handicap. Don't get in your way. There you go.
No such thing.
No.
Take it out of your vocabulary. NBA playoffs.
They're hot and heavy. Hot and heavy.
Start with the Cavs, man.
Yeah, what's up?
Cavs Pacers. This series has been pushed to a Game 7 today. It's gonna be on 1 p.m.
Yep.
LeBron had a great Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
You seen what he did?
Well,
we all
know what we can do.
They compared to the shot when Jordan hit
Over Elo
in Cleveland in '89.
Yeah.
So they put them side by side, or right one above the other, and really similar.
Well, I think Tyrone Lue made that point during his press
He
conference.
said that the plays were the exact same plays, and hey, both of them look great.
Both of them game winners.
Right.
There you go.
And by two great players.
Oh, Hall of Famers.
Right, definitely.
No questions.
But what does Cleveland need to do to win this game today? Because Pacers aren't letting up.
No, they're not letting up.
And they gave LeBron a Band-Aid.
Well, this is the Pacers. I want to say in this term, this is the Pacers Super Bowl. This is their NBA championship. This is their NBA championship right here. If you got a chance to take out the best player in the game in the first round, you're a small market team. You don't really have any significant star value on your team per se. You got a lot of good players. Don't get me wrong.
Oladipo's one of those.
Oladipo and Miles Turner and all those guys. I can see this game being a game-winning shot.
It's do or die.
Let's do or die, but I can see this game going to a game-winning shot.
Well, we'll see.
What did the Cavs need to do? They need to make the Pacers work. Pacers got a lot of their points on the offensive end by just steals and fast breaks.
Well, besides LeBron having big games through this whole series, everybody else has to step up and contribute.
I mean, they made
at least
a lot
20
of
points each.
Well, they made a lot of those trades, right before the trade deadline for the younger guys that they brought in.
They're kind of not there.
And you said it, they've not shown up at all. And I really expected Jordan Clarkson to kind of help him out and show up.
Nance Jr.?
Yeah, Larry Nance Jr. I mean, Rodney Hood. I mean, where's that guy?
Not here.
I mean,
or there.
He was brought in to kind of help Kyle Korver, with the spot shooting, and that dude's is he even on the floor?
Right. But if they're eliminated, does LeBron leave or does he stay?
He leaves.
So he leaves too, and I'm not going to get into where he's going because we all know who wants him. And what all the rumors are. So
Exactly.
But 1 p.m. today, Game 7, do or die.
Yep.
Cavs, Pacers. Pelicans versus the Warriors. Game 1. I don't know if you got to watch any of it.
I watched the highlights.
123-101. The Warriors walk away with the win.
Yep.
Which I'm really not surprised, but I'm kind of surprised because you've seen the way the Warriors, well, not the Warriors, the Pelicans played against
Portland.
Blazers.
Yeah, Portland. Yeah.
Putting them out. I mean, they swept them. Davis and Holiday having big games.
Yep.
Draymond had a triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
This is his 4th career postseason triple-double. So, much as I'm not a Draymond fan, he did his thing.
He did?
He helped his team win. And it's like they pulled away in that second half. The Pelicans had the foot on the gas, and it apparently slipped off. Durant came up with 26 points. 13 rebounds. Klay Thompson had 27 points. So, I mean...
Yeah, Draymond, like you said, triple-double. 16 points, 11 assists, 15 rebounds. But that being said, though, Klay Thompson made a point in the press conference. That game was exhausting.
I bet it was.
He said the Pelicans pushed them so hard.
Oh, they ain't seen nothing yet.
Right. I mean, you got to think. Golden State was at home.
Mm-hmm.
So they had that fuel of the fans. They had,
Didn't matter.
Yeah, and it was a 22-point win. I get it. But that being said,
This is a new Pelicans team.
this is a totally different.
And it's going to be
Pelicans team.
Davis for 21 points. That's low for him.
Oh yeah, this
That's
dude.
low.
This dude, he can give you 40 points any
getting
night.
He's getting a feel for them. He
Oh,
got
yeah.
his feel, so watch out game 2. And you know the cool thing about this Pelicans team?
What's that?
Which is just being so different. You got 5 Kentucky guys on there, which I think is cool. You got Davis,
Yep.
Rondo, Cousins, which he's out, Darius Miller, and DeAndre Liggins. And
Yep.
speaking of Miller, that shot he hit, that buzzer
Wow.
beater, he wasn't even at the free throw line yet.
No, I mean it was an
He just
inbounds
launched
pass from the other end of the court,
Exactly.
and it was 72 feet. I think is what it
Crazy.
went. Yeah, just straight net. Wow.
Pelicans tighten up their defense and
Yeah.
keep pushing and keep doing what they're doing. Get Davis more involved offensively.
Well,
I
Drew
think- I think-
Holiday, I think, got in a lot of. He got into some foul trouble.
Yeah, that definitely hurts you.
That definitely hurts you when your point guard gets into foul trouble and he only gives you 11 points. This guy, like
Pelicans game 2.
yeah,
I'm
I can
gonna
see
say
that.
about 5
You know how you stop the Warriors? Oh, I'm gonna give you the game plan right now.
breaks, get stops.
Get stops and make them work defensively.
Oh,
Move
yeah.
the ball. Make them work. You make them work on
Well, you were
defense.
seeing that in this game.
They have no
You've
offense.
seen it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've seen it, but Draymond came out on fire. Though.
Yeah.
That was his thing. I mean, if it wasn't him coming out on fire, this game, I believe, would have been a whole lot
It
closer.
would have,
A whole lot closer.
but they're gonna come out on top next game. I see it.
And will we see Curry? Game 2?
I'm gonna say game 3. You'll probably see him back.
Game 3? Okay.
I don't think he's that hurt. I think he's ready to come back. I think he's trying to get a feel as well.
Well, I did hear yesterday.
I think he's ready to come back.
What was it? Friday evening, I heard that he was involved. Curry was involved in a 5-on-5 practice.
Okay.
That it was anything goes, all contact,
And how do you come out?
and I think they said they played for maybe 45 minutes, and he had like 16 points.
Okay.
So I think he's ready to go. I think Kerr doesn't want to pull the trigger for the fact that, hey, we don't need to put
Right.
him on the floor until we need to put him on the floor.
You know what? It's going to get physical when he comes back to.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and he has to make sure he's ready for that style of play because they're going to be on him.
well, Drew Holiday's a physical
Right.
player
saying.
anyway, and then you.
With OKC out, Spurs out, Bucks out, Heat's out, Blazers out, we can move on to Celtics win.
Yeah. Celtics moving on.
Win the series 4-3.
Yep.
Bucks are out. Like I said, they won that game 112-96.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of friction between Rozier and Drew Bledsoe, but it was great to see those two guys, after the game was over, come together, hug it out. It's the playoffs.
It's that local thing, man.
It is. It's that Louisville, Kentucky rival. And they've just carried over into the NBA, and it's good to see.
Which is awesome.
Right, it is. But, I'm glad there was no fighting. You're going to shrug shoulders. You're going to bump each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have some words on the court. It's basketball.
It's playoffs.
Yeah, it was playoffs. It's trash talking. But it's good to see them two come together at the end and say, hey, man, we're both players in the league. We're both hungry. We're both, passionate about the game. So we can still remain friends.
My whole thing is this: the
Have
Celtics.
some respect.
The Celtics. Let's take a look at this team for a second here. The Celtics without Kyrie Irving,
Yeah.
without Gordon Hayward. This team won this series, which
And Horford stepped up.
I look at it like this: like this series, this matchup could have went either way.
Yeah.
Celtics could have won this. Bucks could have won this. Either way.
And I was surprised the Celtics won it.
But like you said, Horford, the veteran, the guy that knows how to play, especially when the playoffs start.
That's what they need.
And Rozier, like you said, who came out with a chip on his shoulder, filled in phenomenally with his ability on the court, filling in the shoes for Kyrie Irving, and the rookie, Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
There you go. This team is now going to go face the 76ers.
That's going to be a battle. Look what Simmons and Joel are doing.
Yeah, Joel Embiid. Yeah, Fultz is starting to kind of progress and come back from his shoulder injury. I think this team
trust the process. Right?
Trust the process.
Yeah.
This series coming up, 7 games.
Oh yeah, easy.
Hands down.
Yeah, 7 games. Who's coming out? I'm gonna say 76ers.
I'm gonna say the Celtics.
Are you?
I'm gonna say the Celtics.
Okay.
The reason why I say the Celtics, they got a lot more veteran leadership on that team. Not that there's anything wrong with the young studs, and they're going to get theirs. Trust me.
Yeah, but you gotta have some type of veteran leadership there,
especially when it comes down to the final minute of a game, a couple seconds of the game, whatever it is. You need somebody who's been there,
and somebody make the right decision.
Right, exactly. Make
not
the right
just
decision.
jack the ball up and
hope it goes
exactly the way you used to play.
The Jazz and the Rockets.
Jazz and the Rockets. Wow. Mitchell, what more can you say about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
24 points. Wow. Did you see the move he had?
No, I didn't.
I mean, he's got Melo and Paul George on him, so they're right in front of the basket. He spins. Melo's arms go a different direction. Paul George is right there with his arms up. Dude just come off to the side and just lays it in like it's nothing. You got 2 All-Stars in front of you.
Yeah.
And you do that?
As a rookie?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
I didn't expect none of this from him at the beginning of the season.
I expected him to play well. I expected him to contribute, but not to be the star that he is. Slam dunk champion, playoffs round 2.
Adidas, give this guy a shoe.
Rookie of the year candidate, no doubt about it. Hey, Donovan joins Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the only 2 rookies to score 20 points in their first 6 playoff games.
Setting records.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, setting
Kareem
records.
Abdul-Jabbar. Nothing else but Hall of Famer.
Did you see Melo, Brody, and PG pull him aside? Talk to him.
Oh,
after the game, each one of them talked to him, pulled him aside, and said something to him. Now, Westbrook doesn't do that to anybody.
No.
That's not his style at all. So that goes to show you he respects Donovan. He respects his game. He sees something in this guy. And they asked Donovan after the game, what did he say to him? He's like, well, Westbrook was kind of close to him anyway, so you couldn't actually see his mouth, what he was saying.
Yeah.
But Donovan was like, I can't tell you everything he said, but he just said, keep going, do not stop, keep working, don't stop. So respect there.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And you're getting it from Westbrook.
Exactly.
That's
not his style. I mean,
no.
Speaking of Westbrook and his interactions with people, what about the fans here lately with this guy?
Yeah.
Jumping out at him, cussing, and he was about to put his hands on that one guy.
Yeah, he's about to throw down right down the aisle.
I mean, he's had so many people just come up, run up at him.
Well, that guy that came on the court,
right,
exactly. That was insane.
And he had all rights to knock that guy out.
Oh, without doubt.
What would you have done?
I would have knocked him out.
Would you have knocked him out and then later on, hey man, you want to go to the Sizzler?
No, I would have left him on the floor probably. Okay. Yeah, and then stepped over him.
I don't know if you would have felt bad later on.
No, wouldn't have felt bad at all.
Speaking of Melo, OKC,
yeah,
they're wanting Melo to take a bench role next year. Are you hearing that?
Yeah,
Melo said, "I'm not doing that." No. He's got $28 million they owe him left on his contract on that deal for next year. He yells out, "Hey PG, they want me to take a bench role." And he starts laughing. I mean, why would you ask that guy to do that? He's one of your leading scorers on the team.
And you're going to pay him $28 million to come off the bench.
But he can opt out.
Yep.
Go somewhere else.
Be a starter.
And Mr. PG, we can't leave him out.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Hey. Palm trees and sunny skies.
Yeah, LA looks nice, don't it?
Yeah, West Side.
With all those
that's
young...
his home.
Yeah, it's his home with all those young talent out there.
And that's another thing that attracts him. They're pushing to get all these guys out there to play. Yep. He wants to be part of that.
Randall and Ingram and Ball and all those guys. Yeah.
Think of you could build around him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
and this
I don't see him at OKC next year. I mean, it's going to be Brody by himself, I believe. They're going to have to bring some other guys in because I think Melo's gone too.
Yeah, I do too. I see Melo going to a title contender right off the bat. And it could be Portland.
Yeah.
Could be Philadelphia. who knows? But he's going to go somewhere where he's got a shot to win a title to
Exactly.
end his career.
With OKC being out, Jazz moves on to the Rockets. 65-win Rockets at that. So that's going to be a very interesting season. Not season. Interesting series,
Yes.
shall I say, for the end of the season, playoff season. And we'll see what happens there because you got the Beard versus the Spider. So that's going to be great. I cannot wait.
Speaking of small market teams here, just real quick. Small market teams, and what I mean by that is like as far as the value of the team, number one, and as far as like the market of where the team's located. Like the Bucks, the Pacers, the Cavs, the Pelicans, and the Jazz. All small market kind of teams. There's only one star on those teams pretty much. You know, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Like, you know, so there's pretty much just one star on their team. The big market teams, the Rockets, the Warriors, multiple star teams, multiple star oriented teams. These small market teams are pushing the bigger teams.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first round. We're not talking about second round or third round right here. We're talking about first round. That being said, though, Louisville wanting to get that NBA team is going to be a small market team. I can see it happening. That being said, I think Louisville is a perfect spot for an NBA team to land.
It's coming.
And, you know, the market as far as TV ratings for college basketball are extremely high for Kentucky in general. Now you bring in the NBA, the revenue is going to skyrocket.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's going to bring a lot of jobs and probably increase our taxes, too. But,
well, that being said,
you know.
Playoffs, man. Playoffs.
But,
you know, you're going to have a lot of teams coming in here looking at like the Derby Classics and stuff like that as far as the GMs and the owners. So, revenue. Even in the offseason. It's all about
that mighty dollar. Well, folks, that wraps it up.
Wrap it up.
So I want you guys know, follow us on Instagram at _KY_game plan, Facebook at KY.gameplan, and on Twitter, our handle is at KY Game Plan. I am Mac Black.
I am Adrian Smith.
And thank you for listening to the Kentucky Game Plan.